All right, let's talk about Christian Wilkins of the Las Vegas Raiders now. The Raiders went out, paid a bunch of money for a defensive lineman. A lot of people have kind of talked about how will it help, Max Crosby next to him, all that good stuff. But I just want to talk about what Wilkins is, what he can bring to the table for Las Vegas, because I do think this is a very fascinating move. Let's start off with the play you see on your screen, because I think the first thing Wilkins can do for you is just win one-on-one matchups on the inside, which, you're paying that kind of money. You hope he can do that, right? But definitely that is something that he brings to the table. That's why you're paying that kind of money, because he can do, really, I think this is the main thing he brings to the table, where, this example is going to be a one-on-one matchup against a Jets right guard, and watch how when this play begins, you see right here that really the key thing to watch is going to be Wilkins' right hand. It's really going to show off the power that Wilkins has. Watch him drive the guard backwards like that and gets in position where he can at least disrupt the play at this point, right? Up the middle, there's a way to disrupt the play. Now, it's not an easy situation to get a sack here though, right? I mean, you still kind of have a bit of a tough avenue to try and get over to the quarterback, and the quarterback could potentially try to find a way to scramble outside the pocket if he sees this quick enough. So, while it's still a good play, it's still a win for Wilkins, being able to finish off this play would be very difficult. But again, watch the power and watch his ability to reach out, and he does help make that sack. And so, again, the power he has is definitely one of the big attributes he's bringing to the table. But that is not the only attribute he's bringing to the table. That is just one of the many things that he can do. Going over here, I often feel like the most important thing for the great defensive tackles, all the great defensive tackles have this trait, which is a quick get off. They, seemingly the second the ball is snapped, they're moving, which, I feel like, name an elite defensive tackle who doesn't do that, at least an elite pass rushing defensive tackle who doesn't do that. I can't think of one, and Wilkins is no exception. He definitely can do this. Watch this play, for example. Watch the center and Wilkins. Right away, you see that he's going to, get past the center to the point where the center can't really get his hands where you want. And it's so important for a defensive tackle to do this, especially when you're going up against a center, right? Because just logically speaking, if you're a center, you have to snap the ball and then get your hands up. There's just that extra little split second, which isn't a lot of time, but it's enough to potentially just make it that much more difficult. That's why usually you don't like to have your center on a one-on-one matchup. But here, the Dolphins show blitz at the line, so that's why and they are blitzing, so that's why you have to do it. So he's gotten to this point, when you have that quick get off and you're going up against a center, this is the situation it can get you to, but this is all it can get you to, right? It can't get you that much further. You still have to be able to win from here, and for a center, it's not the end of the world. You could try to just push Wilkins towards the bottom of the screen, give Bryce Young plenty of time to not be able to find anybody open, probably, given how Carolina has gone, but still, in theory, give him time to throw the ball down the field. But you see, Wilkins doesn't get pushed at all, and he gets to Bryce Young, and again, that's where that speed and power come through, right? The great first step gets you in position to succeed, and then the power allows you to succeed. So that's what Wilkins can bring to the table for the Raiders, and that's what he's probably going to, you're hoping he can do, is you line him up next to Max Crosby, and maybe, you have some room for him to thrive and to work. And even, if Max Crosby's not in the game, if Max Crosby's injured, this will still help. There's still value in stuff like this. A play like this as well, where what's going to happen is he's actually lined up on the edge right here, which isn't something they did a ton, but they would every now and then do this. And you have the right tackle for Carolina is going to eventually pick up Wilkins, and I'm not sure exactly what he does here, but it's not going to go great. Watch how the tackle just kind of doesn't really pick him up right away, but so several ways you could take this. One, well, that was very lucky. Yeah, it was. But you know what happens throughout the course of an NFL season? Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes an opponent makes a mistake. And like I said, Wilkins has that great first step that watch him kind of run by the tackle before he realizes what he had done, how he had screwed up. The tackle's getting quick to the quarterback trying to help him up. Yeah, you better after you do that. But still, again, you could easily sit here and say, well, that's just luck. I don't care. That's fine. But I do think it still shows his great quickness and his great athleticism. We can talk about something like this, too, like how he does in stunts. Because, again, if we're talking about how will he, work with Max Crosby, how will that tandem, work now? Part of it is you can do stuff like this, where the way this is going to work is a different Miami player is going to run kind of to the left of Wilkins. Well, as in, more towards Wilkins, I should say. Because then what's going to happen is those two players are going to block in that direction. In theory, if you can get the left guard and the center to kind of block in that direction, then Wilkins runs over and, with a left tackle going towards the edge rusher, there could be a straight shot for him to get through. When this play begins, you see that right here, Wilkins is moving over, and yeah, there is a straight shot to get through. This works, and again, this is where the athleticism of Wilkins is going to really be shown off. Watch how quick he is at getting through that. Now, Mac Jones, credit to him, was able to get outside the pocket. There wasn't contained on the other side, so, what are you going to do? But Wilkins did everything right there. It was a really good play from Wilkins, I thought. So, again, you can't just say the whole play. Not every good play is going to result in a sack. It is what it is. But that was a good play, I thought, from Wilkins. And, again, when you have a guy like Max Crosby who gets a ton of attention, if you can kind of maybe use that and have, these were 2 defensive tackles, but you can't have defensive tackles and edge rushers run stunts. And with those 2 guys running a stunt, that could be very difficult to, find a way to stop. Also, this next play where what's going to happen is, again, see where he is on the screen. Going to be going up one-on-one against the right guard. Again, watch this first step, how quickly he gets past. I mean, again, it really is just so incredible how well he can move. But here's the other aspect. I haven't brought this up yet, but you got to tackle Mahomes, right? I mean, we can sit here and say, oh, well, football's a game. You have 15 other games. That's what you're looking at. No. The Raiders know what division they're in. They know who they're going up against. They beat the Chiefs last year. They were the last team to beat the Chiefs, and they kind of talked about their Mahomes rules. They want to be physical. They want to be able to not just get to Mahomes, but hit him. They want to be able to not just get past the offensive lineman, but once you get past, tackle him. Well, look at Wilkins going up against Josh Allen, another very elusive player. As you see, Allen tries to move. Wilkins not only is able to get to Allen, he actually gets the football. Doesn't just get it out. He gets the football. That's kind of the other aspect of Wilkins, is he's a physical player, and he's someone who can actually make a tackle once he gets into the backfield as well. He's not just someone who's going to kind of disrupt the play, because for Mahomes, a disrupted play basically means nothing. And while it is still true that there are 15 other games, and Wilkins will be very valuable in those situations, you have to think that with whatever the Raiders are doing, they're going to at least to some degree think about the fact that they do play Mahomes twice a year as well. Mahomes is the guy who, the Chiefs continue to win the division, continue to win the Super Bowl, and if they're going to go on a deep run, or at least win the division, they're going to have to probably at least beat the Chiefs once to do that. And if they're going to make the playoffs, it's good to have a guy, who can help you beat Mahomes at least once, because you don't want to, have just those 2 losses on the resume, on the record. It'll be tough otherwise. Not impossible, but tough. Wilkins brings a lot to the table, but these are kind of the main things he brings to the table. So, again, the quick get off, the, his strength, his physicality, I didn't really talk about, but yeah, and he is someone who might hit you after the whistle. Like that is a part of his game, which again, the Raiders kind of might see more as a pro than a con. And he should help out Max Crosby. A lot of benefits for Wilkins. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.